What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. You know who it is, your boy John.
Misa. What's up, guys?
He's in the house today. And first off, it's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, sir.
Happy Father's Day to all you watching, all you guys, all you real ones out there, still doing the damn thing out there, working and training and taking care of your kids and your family.
Yeah, man.
With everything going on in your lives, so, shout out to you guys, the real ones.
Yeah, this morning I woke up and I'm usually the first one up in my house, like right now the kids are slowly waking up, the wife as well, so but daddy's got to get the grind going early, dude. So
yeah,
I'm always the first one up. And this morning I kind of woke up and I was like thinking like, damn, it's Father's Day. It feels a little bit different, it feels like it's a time to kind of sit back and be grateful and have a little bit of gratitude. So I just kind of sat there in my driveway as I was going to go get some fuel in the morning. And I was like, get some fuel like I'm in the fucking military still. I was going to go fuel my vehicle. No.
Yeah.
I was in, getting some gas in the morning. And I was thinking, I was like, man, when I was a kid, I always pictured myself being a father. Like I always, my view of myself.
Your future.
Yeah. My future self was like, I'm a dad, and so I think I would look back. I could, look back at that kid and be like, fucking, you made it, dude. Like you did all the things that you wanted to do, So everything else right now is just a cherry on top, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my little revelation this morning.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm usually the first one up before everybody. The house is quiet, and sometimes I'll sit out back in the mornings, open the door, sit out back at the little table, and like just reflect. This morning I woke up, my wife was up, so she's like, you want coffee? I was like, yes. We sat out in the backyard and just kind of taking in the day. It's nice to once in a while enjoy a day of
slow,
just
like
slow
down.
the pace down. Yeah.
It feels like more and more you have to kind of like force those moments, or be more, not force it, but like be more conscious and be more intentional with it.
Yeah. That's a great point. There's a lot of things that I feel I have to be more conscious about taking in the moments. And that's like, between work, training, kids, wife, bills.
The grind, dude.
Trying to find fun things for the family to look forward to. It does feel time goes by fast.
Yeah.
Way too fast. Time starts flying faster. There is a whole, I forgot what it's called. There's a name for that. Maybe someone in the chat, you guys Google it, but there's a name for that. The older you get, the faster time flies. Mm-hmm. And the idea is that as you're younger, the reason why they think that it seems like time takes so long is because you're constantly learning. Everything's new to you. Mm-hmm. And so you're just learning. I mean, learning about life, learning about, with school, just learning. Everything's learning. And so eventually, as you get older and you kind of start learning less, the time starts going faster for you because you've already seen a lot of this stuff before, and it's repetitive. But there's a term for that. So taking that moment to like reflect on, your past self and, I did. Yeah. I'm where I want to be. Like everything else is a cherry on top. I think that's a really good way to start Father's Day.
I also, at the same time, like right afterwards, I thought to myself, I was like, well, what if I woke up today and my mind was erased from, like, I didn't have a past. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't know my past. Kind of like Jason Bourne, but a little bit more magical and shit. Anyway, you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't have a past. And you kind of just wake up wherever you are. Maybe you're, like for me, I was in my car, in my driveway. And I was like, if I were to wake up right now, how would I feel? Like if I knew, obviously I knew what it was to be a human and all that shit. Like I just didn't have a past.
Everything was new.
Yeah, everything was just like new. If I woke up and I was like, damn, what? I would be like, fuck yeah, I made it.
The best version of that kind of thing that I ever heard was this guy. And he's like, if I gave you $10 million, like if I had 10 million, I gave it to you, how happy would you be?
I guess. Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, the money is not what fucking makes you happy.
No,
right?
no, but like, how happy would you be though? Like, if I were to say, here's $10 million, you know, and go have fun, go do what you want with it. How you'd be excited, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And you would take it, right?
Yes.
But if I said, here's $10 million, but you only live one day, would you take that $10 million?
No.
No.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the point is that, like, if $10 million is not enough for you to say, I only live one day for that, like, then every day is worth
time is.
It's
Your time is
worth. It's invaluable,
thing, dude. Yeah.
Like, yeah. And so taking, reflecting, and doing these things are like, that's how important it is. Like,
I remember one time. This was like one of my first construction jobs, and I was like young, you know, and I didn't know the difference between getting paid this or that or whatever. And so I just kind of went with the flow. But after a while, I started noticing that we would be working overtime for free. And I was like, I was like, yo, dog. And I told the foreman, I was like, hey, man, you know, I'm willing to help and stay afterwards, whatever. But I want to get paid for that. And he's like, well, you know, this was old school fucking guys, dude. He got offended. He was like,
yeah, of course,
ready to fight. And, you know, long story short, I pretty much told him, like, look, dude, this is my time. Like, that's when I realized, I realized that day when I was like, you're stealing my time from me.
Yeah.
Like, my time is worth more than whatever the fuck they were paying me back then, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm here and I'm willing to work whatever time, but I want to get compensated for that time.
Yep.
And he wasn't having it. And I was like, all right, peace.
Yeah.
Later.
No, 100%.
And it's like,
when I was younger, I had a lot of friends that were, you know, when I was in my 20s, I was going to school. I was working 2 jobs. I was grinding. And I had a lot of friends that were like, oh, I'm making overtime. They were working crazy overtime. But because I was like going through all that stuff and I didn't have time, and I didn't have like a lot of time to spend with my kids or to spend with my wife, because it was like work, school, work, sleep, work every day, you know, working weekends so that I can have 2 days off, try to have 2 days off during the week for school and stuff like that. And that's when I learned like how like overtime was like, it's not worth it for me. Like right there, I was like, I knew what I was doing in the long run was worth it, because I was burning the candle on both ends, like working, school, work, and my wife wasn't working.
Build a strong base.
But I knew then, like, going through that, I realized like, fuck, like if there's one regret I've ever had, and I hate having regrets, and it's not even a regret, is it like because I had to do that, I missed a lot of the kids growing up, because like their first steps and a lot of that stuff, but like it's what I had to do. And that's the only thing I regret, is like I didn't get more time when they were little, because I was constantly working or going to school or sleeping. But I don't regret it, because obviously it is where I'm.
It was an investment.
Yeah. But I learned a valuable lesson about time and how like your time is worth more than a work or a job.
Yes.
Or anything that like overtime. Sometimes it's like it's just worth, your time is more valuable than all that. Like, and what you could do with your time, and whether it's spending with your family, spending with your kids, you know, doing something for yourself, something valuable. I watched this video. It kind of really hit home. This guy was at a jiu-jitsu gym, and he was, you know, people were being super like, whatever. I don't know if they were being lazy or whatever it was, but they just didn't look like they were enjoying it or whatever. And he was like, "Yo, like there's people out here that can't roll.
Yeah,
there's time. People that don't have. They have. Well, no, even like they can't, because their body doesn't allow them to." Yeah. And it's like, all of you are going to get to a point where you can't be in here. And you're going to look back and you're going to be like, fuck, if I could just roll one more day, if I could just go to the gym one more day and roll and hang out with my friends and, you know, talk about moves and talk about, you know, the game and do all these things. Like, it's a moment to take and say, like, you need to slow down and like realize like, hey, these are the moments that you're going to look back on and be like, man, I wish I could still be at that gym at that time with those people, you know? And reflecting on that. And like, today's a good day to do that.
Be mindful about it.
Yeah, be mindful about it.
Just take a second, breathe.
To appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about the good things. Think about the bad things that got you got through to get to where you're at. You know, I like to I think about like some of the times when I'm like in my lowest, at whatever challenge I have in my life. I like to reflect back on some of the toughest times in my life, because I know I got through that, and I'm like, shit,
It's what made you.
This ain't nothing.
But it's also what made you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a lot of people, I think a lot of people don't understand that too, is that like you go through challengings, you go through pain, you go through suffering, and you're like, man, I wish that never happened. But that's
like, you wouldn't wish it on for your children.
Yeah.
But at the same
But
time,
that's what made you who you are. If you took away all that stuff, you wouldn't be who you are right now.
No.
You'd be a completely different person.
Yeah, soft.
I mean, it's a good. Sorry, yeah, we got a little deep right off the bat. But you had something that you were, before we started. We were talking. There was something you were talking about. Being Father's Day and.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good segue of like balancing the grind, balancing being a father, being a husband, being a professional at work, and being a friend, and like all these things. And then also doing, carving out the extra time for you is like, it's one of the things that it's kind of conflicting, because you're like, damn, like you said, you're like, fuck. For me right now, I'm training at least 7 to 9 hours a week, jiu-jitsu and judo. And so that's 9 hours that I'm not with my kids, and a week. And like, I think that, and it weighs on me. But I also know now that if I didn't have that hour a day or couple hours a day, sometimes like when I'm lucky, then I would also be missing like a part of myself. I feel like jiu-jitsu and just martial arts in general is like a part of who I am. It's like, it's not just a hobby for me. It's not like, I don't just go to get in shape or for me it's like
lifestyle.
Yeah, it's part of what I do. It's not who I am, but it's part of what I do, and part of what makes me like the person that I am right now. However I see myself in my mind, I kind of like, I try to form this, like I don't know. I've always been more drawn to like the warrior mindset, and so I was also reading some of the Miyamoto Musashi stuff, and he was talking about how the importance of having like what does he say? He says an interconnected mind, right? Like being able to be great at different things, not only martial arts, not only jiu-jitsu, not only judo, things that are outside of martial arts and physical activity. Maybe things like, some people play chess. I like to do art. Some people like poetry or music or dance or whatever the fuck it might be. The fact that you're doing that it'll allow you to soften the rigidness of martial arts, because martial arts is very rigid. Like, right. You're like hard. Like sometimes it can be hard. It can be punishing on your body and on your mind a little bit sometimes. And so like taking the time to step back, and like for me, I like to paint. I like to like sculpt and do shit like that. So I'll sit there and paint, and I'm still kind of painting warrior themed or like jujitsu themed stuff, but it's a different medium. It's a different, so it allows you to be more creative is what Miyamoto Musashi thought. Allows you to be more creative and more adaptable in your game. So he thinks it would make you a deadlier fighter, because you're more,
opens your mind more,
unpredictable. You're just you're able to adapt and create and be creative. And I find that that's just my mindset anyway. Like there's some people who are very linear with jiu-jitsu, and I don't really see it that way. Like there's a lot of people who see it like, okay, it's this and then this and then this, and I need to know step by step where my hand's gonna go. For me, it's like, I want to see.
You want the concept.
I want the concept of it, and tell me how you finish it and what and why it works. Yeah. And then from there, I'm like,
then you can play with it.
I could play with it, and I could kind of throw it into different positions that are similar.
Yes.
Or maybe you might fall into that somehow, and you're like, ooh, I remember this. Like
a lot of times when I'm teaching certain things or sweeps or stuff, I talk about that specifically before I even like do the sweep. I'm like, what do you guys see here? What is this? What is the one thing that makes this work? And it's like, all right, I have his leg trapped and his arm trapped on the same side. So he's going to go that way and he can't block it. I was like, but if you look at it from that viewpoint, then you see it everywhere. Then you start seeing it in different positions. Maybe, you know, I think as you start getting better at jiu-jitsu and even probably judo, you start seeing things that weren't necessarily taught to you because you understand the concept, and you get put in a position. You're like, oh, his leg's trapped and his arm's trapped here in some weird position. So I know
and
that I can
second
sweep
nature
him.
to you already.
Yeah, and so I know that his body's. I could go that way, and he can't stop himself. Or talking about weight distribution. When someone's on top of you, I can feel their weight. I can see he's super light over here, and he's super heavy over here. So I know I can off balance him by moving him this way because he's super light over here. You know, and you see the concept. The concept. Those are those foundational that allow you to like to kind of move naturally and flow, and do those types of things you're talking about.
I feel like also, talking about like coaching and stuff. If you're able to break it down to that, like.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how difficult, or not difficult, but how much effort it actually took for me to teach what I know.
To break it down to something.
Because for me, it's so like, for me, I've been doing it for years, so it's natural. Like the little intricacies that I might not even know happen,
you might not
just
say,
happening.
yeah.
I don't say it in the move. And this week I went down. I went to another gym. Over there at Dave's gym, and he gave me the honor to teach his first Friday class. It was fun, man. It was cool. It was a small class, but just teaching a forward roll to somebody who is, no disrespect, but maybe a little bit not as athletic, or maybe they're not a freaking athlete ever. Maybe they're just like a mom or something, and like coming in and they're they want to give it a shot. And so they come in, and you're telling them to do a forward roll and and roll on the mat, and they see you do it, and you're like, it's so easy, and they try it, and it's just like they just collapse, and it looks like So to break that down and to be able to be like, okay, this is how you do it. This is why. This is where you're going to put your your arm, and why, and keep this, and just all the details. It's like I really had to sit back and be like, fuck, like how do I break this down?
Yeah.
Because it's not only the fact that it's a complex movement. Not complex, but it's something you got to kind of trust yourself. You don't want to hurt yourself, So it's not only that, but it's the fact that it depends on the level. It depends on the level of the person coming in.
Well, it's right? The way I always tell like new people, and I've said this before, is I try to explain like someone that's never done it, and a lot of times they get like disheartened because they can't move a certain way or they can't do something, and I try to explain. I'm like, this jiu-jitsu is like a language. Like your body is going to do new movements, new things that you've never done before, and your body has to learn that language first. Yeah. Like you have to learn your ABCs first, right? You have to learn like how your body should move and things like that before you can learn how to write a sentence. And then you got to learn, like maybe you start getting more used to moving, and then now you're learning a sentence or two or words, right? And then you start learning sentences, and then you start learning paragraphs, and then you start writing papers. Like that's kind of how
progression of it.
Yeah, it's like, but if don't feel bad. Like you have to help them understand that. Like, don't feel bad if you can't do some of the stuff, because it's like it's the first time your body's ever done this. Yeah.
Everybody else is doing it easy, and that you feel bad because you're not.
Yeah.
So what would your advice be to somebody coming in that's like that, like an out of shape mom or dad or person who's just like into it? Like, what would you tell them?
I would probably say, first of all, don't try to come hard.
Number one,
because they're gonna come and they're gonna be like, they're gonna enjoy it, and they're gonna be like, I'm gonna be here every day.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant don't like roll hard because you'll get your energy.
Well,
matched.
both. It's
That
kind of a
too.
mix. It's like
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
it's
though.
kind of like a mix of like one, just listen to your body in the beginning, and don't
overdo it.
And don't set your expectations too high, because you're gonna if you come in and you have high expectations of yourself, it's gonna be hard, and you're gonna feel down, and you're gonna be like, man, I suck at this. I'll never get good at this. But if you come in with an open mind and be like, look, this is new. My body has to adapt. I think you'll last longer, because one, you're going to be hurting in places you've never hurt before. You're not going to be able to move. Like, you're going to see all these people and they're doing things that you can't do, whether it's a movement, like it's a forward roll or break falling or whatever it is. And you're going to be like, man, how come I can't do that? And it's just because you haven't done that before. And so come in with that open mind, but like, I'm going to do something that I've never done, and it's going to take time, right? That first year is going to be rough.
Oh yeah.
And you have to understand that.
I would say all that, and then I would also say that if you really are serious about it, like you should really have a conversation with yourself and be like, am I gonna do this for real, or am I just gonna dabble? Because that's gonna also determine because jiu-jitsu is not only done in the gym, right? Like, at least for me, like, you're not only training and then you go home and then it's done.
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
watch videos or I think about it.
That too.
Like,
but I mean, if you're older or if you're like new to it and you're not as athletic or something, you're going in the gym and you're breaking your body down, and you should go home and there should be a recovery. There should be some kind of workout to strengthen yourself.
I think that goes back to why jiu-jitsu changes people's lives, is because you start jiu-jitsu for whatever reason. You start jiu-jitsu, and then as you get into it and you start falling in love with it and you start like really,
it transforms
you because then you're like, man, I need to eat better because it's affecting me on the mats, or I need to, if you're like a heavy smoker, like, man, I need to quit smoking because I can't roll on the mats. When I first started, I was overweight and I was vaping a lot, like a lot. And then I was like, man, if I, like, the vaping was fucking me up. I already have asthma. I was but I wasn't doing anything. So I was like, man, so I quit vaping at all. And then it was like, next thing it was like, all right, I need to eat better. I need to exercise outside of the mat. I need to recover. I need to do other things. And it ended up being like all these things that transformed me in my personal life were to make me better martial artist and a better jiu-jitsu player and be better on the mats, right?
Yep. Just like you were saying with your grind and your journey up to where you're at now, like, you had to spend all that time and all that energy working and hustling and going to school. And I feel like same thing in jiu-jitsu. You got to put in that time and build that base of like techniques and the basic shit that, you got to put that grind in, that long ass time. There's no way around it. Mat time is the key determining factor.
With that said, though, I want to, there's specifically being Father's Day, I've seen a lot of posts on Reddit about people saying like, I can't do 7 days a week. I can't do X amount of hours. I have family and kids, and like, everyone's different. And I think if you have a family and you're working and you're doing all these things and you can only make it 3 days a week, I think that's a big win.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're doing amazing at that point.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Everyone's on their own journey and their own path and has their own timing. Like, you're going to go into a gym. That's the thing about the gyms too. You come in and there's people from all walks of life. Some people, some people don't work, maybe they're young. And so they just train a lot, and you can't compare yourself to other people at the gym.
Yeah,
different. You're on your own path, and people are gonna get better than you faster. People are gonna, evolve at jiu-jitsu faster than you. But you're on your own path, so don't compare yourself to other people. Just compare yourself to who you are when you started.
Yep.
And if all you can do is 3 days a week, you're winning already. You're on the mats. You're better than 99% of the population.
Yeah.
Right. By doing that.
And also, I think I'm not perfect by any means, but there's also things that you can do in your daily routine and life to kind of like, you might have to sacrifice a little bit of your time, of your free time.
Yeah.
But like, for example, you know, I like to cook and feed my kids. I find like pleasure in feeding my family. So I will do that while there's, you know, late night while they're getting ready for bed, while they're sleeping. And I'll stay up a little bit extra to like grill, or to like, it'll be 10 o'clock at night and I'm fucking on the grill or like in the kitchen trying to get shit ready. Not all the time, but you know, whenever I can, and as many times as I can, I do all that. And that gives me the little extra hour or half an hour, whatever, to train, to be like, oh, now I can, like, I've already taken care of the food. Now I don't have to cook when I get home. It's already ready. So now I know my family's fed and everything's good. Yeah. And then so now my conscience is a little bit lighter. You know, I can go train a little bit, you know, freer, you know. So there's ways around it. Like, everybody can look at their schedule if they really put it down on paper and be like, where can I kind of squeeze in things that are also taking up, you know, there's no replacing the quality time with your kids. Like, that's just, you have to be there and really be there. But, you know, other duties, you might call them, that you might have, fucking laundry, whatever it is, you can do that when they're sleeping. When they're sleeping, and then have your time when it's time, you know. So there's ways around it, dude.
Yeah, it's just about making, like you said, sometimes you have to make those little sacrifices to do things a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I think, in terms of, like you were saying, there's a point in time in your journey, if you stick with it, that all of a sudden, like, all these things, like, you become a martial artist, you become addicted to it, just becomes a lifestyle for you and what you do, you know.
I've always kind of like, I think the first martial art I did was Taekwondo or like karate or some shit, like the YMCA karate, you know, like it was just like in a I think it was like a middle school auditorium or something. And like, you just went up there and there was an instructor at the top of the auditorium, the little stage or whatever. And he would line us all up and we just fucking would do kios and shit. And then ever since then, I always grew up with, like, my dad would be watching action movies and fucking, you know, Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and fucking all, growing up with Van Damme and all that shit. So that was kind of like my journey into, and I always kind of saw myself as like a martial artist. I was always like, that's what I'm going to be when I was a kid, you know, like whatever it takes, I'm going to train. And I would train on my own, dude. I would have like my dad and I would, you know, we would get fucking, he got me like little boxing gloves and I would just be there by myself, just shadow boxing, fucking whatever, ever since I was a kid, dude. Whatever. So you know, it's kind of like, I don't know what it's like to not be that way. You know, like, I don't know what it's like to be fresh off the streets, never done any kind of combat sport in your life, never even thought about it, and then all of a sudden you come in. That's badass to me. Yeah. Because that's way out of your comfort zone. Yeah. And it's like for me, it was like, yeah, inevitably I'm gonna fucking be a martial artist. Someday I'll be some kind of black belt, it was in my mind as a kid. But some people don't grow up like that. Yeah. And so if you don't, I wonder what it's like coming into something. Like, for me, I think the equivalent of that would be,
it's like completely scary.
Something scary,
walking on a
that you're not used to.
Well, that's the hardest thing. Like, that's the hardest part, is making that phone call or just showing up out of the blue with nothing, never experienced it, just because it was like, yeah, that's something I want to try. Yeah. And then just stepping on the mats the first time. It is it is scary, you know.
Fuck yeah. You roll in there and you see all these like fucking killers in their gis and you're like, damn, they're all like, their fucking belts are all salty and crusty and shit. And you just see their fucking stripes coming off and you're like, damn, that motherfucker's badass. The cauliflower ear and the fuck, you know. And then you're like, damn, this is what I'm gonna have to come into. Yeah. And even coming in as like an experienced practitioner, I felt that. So I can't imagine what it's like coming in and being like fresh to any kind of sport or martial art and just fucking coming in. You know, that'd be dope.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember, I just remember I was like, oh yeah. I remember when I saw the gym, I was like, oh, I've always wanted to do jiu-jitsu, but I never did it. Like, I did Muay Thai, I've done boxing, I've done Kempo karate, but I never did, like, I always wanted to learn jiu-jitsu. And I remember when I did Muay Thai, they had jiu-jitsu there. It was no gi. And I was like, man, I should try that. And then I just didn't have time to, like, it was either Muay Thai or jiu-jitsu. And so I just did Muay Thai. And then here, I remember I was like, I'm just gonna fucking go. And it was like, I called and then they're like, yeah, just show up. And they had, like, the only time I have is 6 a.m. So that's when I started showing up at 6 a.m. But it was at like, I remember walking in, like, this is gonna be interesting.
You feel the energy in the room, dude. Fuck yeah. And then, speaking about energy, that is also a real thing, dude. Like you come in and like you can, I feel it whenever I bump hands with somebody. That energy immediately transfers. I can tell if they're tense. I can tell if they're chill. If it's going to be a chill round, yeah. If they had a bad week, like, something's off. I can feel it as soon as the fist bump goes off. And I feel like that's like, something real, dude. Like you got to pay attention to that too.
I think a lot of, at work, people ask me stuff about jiu-jitsu all the time too. And one of the things I really, more than anything, I tell them is like, for me, it's like I could have a bad day, a bad week, a bad whatever. Shit could be going bad. But when I go train, like, once you start rolling, I can't think of anything else. Yeah. And then by the time it feels like
there's the euphoria.
Feels like a memory dump. Like I like all the shit just goes away. So when you finish the class, like all the shit that was on your shoulder, you stop thinking about and you feel a little lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that, and also there's the euphoric feeling of all the fucking endorphins and all that shit that are while doing exercise, and then also, props to Professor Omar, dude, for setting up that environment. Like setting up a gym and a culture because it all comes from the top, dude. Like if it wasn't for him and the way he kind of runs things, and now it's kind of like we're like the upperclassmen in a sense where
carrying it on.
We're carrying it on, yeah. So it's like, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have that place, dude.
I think that's a crazy aspect to it too. And I don't think enough people talk about that is when you first start a gym and there's like other higher belts, brown, purple, black belts there, they set the tone of that gym. And the longer you stick around, it's unfortunate, but people move.
Yeah.
People change, and then
people change their minds.
Yeah, and like now at our gym, like you're saying, a lot of us that started together are kind of the ones that are still there are like that
carrying the torch.
Yeah. People go and open their own gyms and then now, like when I go into class and you're there, I'm there. I can feel, I don't want to say a weight, but I can feel like
a responsibility.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Responsibility.
I feel that too, for sure.
And like people asking us questions and things like that.
You're mindful of like, I'm very mindful of all that shit, dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like you're sitting there and like now people are looking to you as kind of like the example of like what's the vibe here at the gym? Yeah. Like, how can I act? How can I not act? Because to me that's very important, dude.
Yeah.
I go like we both said, it's kind of like a sacred place for us. Like we go there for release and for all the things, right? And so if somebody is fucking with that, then to me I'm like, motherfucker.
Now you're fucking with my house.
Yeah, you're fucking with my peace, dude. And that shit is what I've worked so hard to get to where I'm at. And if you're gonna fuck with that, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Dude. So yeah, I'm intentional with how I treat people always, but especially at the gym, and I try to be mindful that that I don't want to say I'm like the best example or anything either, but also I do want to. I remember coming into a few gyms sometimes, and there's those people that are like the upper belts, and they're kind of like standoffish, and they make you feel like you're not allowed.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, like you're like you don't go there type shit, and it's like, man, why can't we just fucking all be cool and like learn and give away like the knowledge that you learned? That's the whole point, is to pass it on into like, what are you gonna do? Die with all that fucking all that ability and skill and then just be a shitty person? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Definitely.
I'm mindful of that, and I don't have the best day always. And sometimes I'll come in and I'll be quiet, and I'm just kind of like in the zone. Or if it's like competition time and then I'm in the zone, purposefully, that's different too. But I try to be courteous and nice as much as I possibly can.
No, 100%. And then now more and more that I'm teaching is like, it's weird. Someone called me coach. A couple people called me coach last time. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking.
The weirdest one is sir.
Yeah.
Like the teens when they're like,
oh thank you, sir. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I mean, I when I started, I didn't come in with any expectations of like how long I was going to do it. Like if I'm going to stick with this, like I just want to go do it. Right. And so now to be as far as I am, it's kind of like, man, it's crazy how many years and hours, like just looking back, how many hours I've been on the mats. It's wild. Cause like you, I try to train. My minimum I try to train is 5 days a week. But I also try to double up days, and I try to do like a 10 and a 7, a 10 and a 7, or once in a while I'll come to like the 10 on the Saturday or things like that. But like my minimum is like, I have to be there at least 5 days a week. And as long as my body allows it, I'll try to like go even more. But there's been long periods of time where I'm like doing like 10, 12 sessions a week, and it's just hours and hours and hours on the mat, but I freaking enjoy it.
That's when you got to let the demons out.
Yeah.
That's when you know the demons are at the door.
But I enjoy it, man. It's like,
yeah,
when my body lets me do that, and you have to listen to your body too.
Oh,
like, like sometimes, like even now, I've been rolling with my wrist all fucked up. I still can't put weight on it. It still hurts. It still aches, but like I have to be there. And so rolling with injuries, isn't a thought for me. Like I know unless it's something where like I can't walk and I can't be there, or like
or it'll make it worse.
Or well, I mean, even a lot of this shit still will make it worse. But I try to listen to my body too. Like sometimes I'll do a 10 a.m. and it's packed, and it's like, and I do like fucking crazy amount of rolls, and like everyone's there, you're there, Gabe's there, like, and I'm like, damn. And then I'm like hurting, and I'm like, all right.
You were hoping for a light day, and then you
walk
in,
I was like, like a lot of times I'll go in, I'm like, all right, I like the 10 a.m. will be, I'll get some good rolls in, and then I'm like, all right, cool, I can get another fucking 6 rolls in tonight, 7 rolls tonight, and I'll be fucking good. But then sometimes I come in and it's like 8 or 9 rolls at 10 a.m. and I'm fucking, and they're all hard, and I'm like, fuck,
that was enough for
us. Yeah, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go tonight. That was a good roll. But going back to Father's Day, a lot of it, the other day, I thought it was funny. The other 10 a.m., you were asking the boys, you're like, did you guys come willingly?
Oh, yeah.
And they were just like, no.
I just seen the vibe, dude. I seen their face. I was like, I know.
And it's like, but as their dad, I'm like, you guys aren't just playing video games all day. You guys are going to go move. You guys are going to go work. And
I was like, that is also a muscle. Like doing shit that you don't want to do.
100%.
It's also a muscle. And if you don't work that shit out, it's going to atrophy just like everything else.
Yeah. So a lot of times that's on my mind too. Like if I do a 10 and they don't do a 10, and I'm like, well, they need to go train. And they're not going to go train unless I go train. Sometimes they do. Sometimes Nathan will be like, hey, I'm going to go train.
Yeah.
And
I've seen him there by himself. Yeah.
He was like, I'm like, awesome. And I'm like, well, no one's going with you.
It's working, dude.
Yeah. So, but a lot of times that's on my mind too. I'm like, I'll go train. And then like, I'm like, damn, if I got to go to 7, because then I need these guys to go train too, And so I'm trying to push them as well.
Yep.
To do hard things and to do things you don't want to do, and that's part of it is
and I think that's a good way to build their character, and not have them go through trauma. It's like a similar thing, like over time, making them do shit that they don't want to do, or that they're not good at, off the bat. That's a good way to kind of like condition them or train them.
And I think there's a lot of people who, there's a whole topic on like, do you force your kids to go train? Do you not force your kids to go train? And I think when they're little, it's about fun, about trying to make it fun more than anything.
Yeah.
But once they get older, like my boys are teens now it's more like, this is about discipline and about doing things sometimes you don't want to do.
It's not like you're pushing them. It's not like you're like, the tiger parents where like, I think the intent is what matters, right?
Yeah.
Like your intention is to build their discipline and their character. If your intention is to make them the best, like you're like,
I want
pushing
you
them
to compete. You
need to compete. You need to compete in higher weight
Yeah.
classes. You need to be like, I want you there every day. That's different.
That's different.
Dude.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're talking about.
I have learned that I try not to coach them and let other
They're
people.
not trying to hear from us anyway.
let other people coach them. And then like even at we were at World League and Hector Beltran was there, and I was talking to him and the boy Nathan was there, and he and so he was asking, he's like, "Oh, is that your kid?" I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "You train?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Hey, what belt are you?" And talking to him and he was like. He's like, "Do you pay for your own jiu-jitsu? Or does your dad still pay for it?" And he's like, "My dad." He's like, and he was like, you don't know how lucky you are right now that you have a parent that's pushing you, paying for this, and like, he's like, one day you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, damn, I'm glad that he did what he did.
Fuck yeah.
And like, he's like, you're so fortunate to have what you have right now, to be involved in jiu-jitsu, to have someone that cares enough about you to push you to do this, to do hard things, but
that's cool that he said that, man, because I think it's more impactful.
He was telling us straight to Nathan.
Yeah.
Like he had a whole conversation. I ended up texting him later. I was like, "Hey man, thanks for like that was cool." Cause
that's badass.
It's hard. Like I said, I try not to coach them. And it's hard not to do that. And so to have other people reinforce that.
Yeah.
I think it has a bigger impact
for sure
when someone else says it, and it's not just me saying like, you don't know how lucky. Like if I'm like, you don't know how lucky you are, they'd be like, oh yeah, sure, Dad.
Here we go again.
Yeah. But to have other people do that is really cool to have,
and not just other people,
the community,
but like someone that's big in jiu-jitsu and like that's badass, dude. Shouts out to Mr. Beltran there.
Yeah. So.
Is it Hector?
Yeah.
Beltran?
Yeah.
I think that I got to see faces, dude. I suck with names so bad.
Yeah. His cousin is one of the refs for the UFC. You know the dude with the beard?
Yes.
That's his cousin.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't look anything alike.
No, I know what you're talking about.
But I mean, even like on top of that, like one time at one of the opens, what's his name? What's that? The guitarist dude.
Oh, Zoltan.
Yeah. So I was in the bullpen with him for like an hour, and we were just talking. I barely like knew who they were. Like, I didn't even know how big they were.
He's badass, dude.
I didn't know how famous.
He's dope at judo.
I didn't know how famous he was.
Yeah.
And we had a whole conversation, and then Nathan was going. He was competing, and he was going at that time. I was like, that's my kid over there competing. And he's like, that's awesome. He's like, that's awesome. He's like, he's out here doing this instead of wearing a skirt and doing some of this other crap that people are doing, And like, he was saying the same thing. He was like, that's awesome, And then after he competed and I competed, like I have a picture with him and the whole family. He came and he was like, how'd you do? And he was talking to the boys and he was like, yeah, you guys are lucky. And like, same thing. But like, again, to have someone at that level, and that famous, to be honest,
I'm sure they looked them up after too, and were like, "Oh shit!"
To be that,
share that with
to share that, yeah. And that's something about the community that I really enjoy. That you see a lot in our community is you get that, and it's one of those moments where I look back and I'm like, man, that was fucking cool,
Yeah, one of those rare moments.
Yeah,
where you're all the shit you've been teaching is reinforced by something else.
Some random stranger,
And then it kind of like validates all that shit. Yeah, that's badass, dude. My little guy, dude, he's still in that mode where everything I tell him it doesn't like, he listens because I see him do it in practice. But while I'm teaching him, he's just kind of like, oh,
yeah.
Like, come on, man. So I still haven't figured out, I guess, how to like convey it to him better. He's more of like, he likes to play, dude. He's like, I mean,
You know what you're
6
gonna
years
love
old.
is when they get older and they're rolling. I've gotten that a lot recently, like with white belts and blue belts, and they're like, even the newer white belts are like, "Is that your boys?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, and they're just like, "Dude,"
Yeah.
and I'm like when they roll with Noah, he's like, "Dude, he's just ridiculous," and I'm like, he's been training since he was 12.
Yeah.
Like he's a blue belt, and I don't even think he has any stripes. Or he's one stripe or no stripes. I don't remember. But I'm like, yeah, he's a blue belt, but like, he's not your normal like adult blue belt.
Yeah.
Like he's been training since he was 12. He went through all the kids belts and
Dude, that's
you know,
wild, man.
and same thing with like when someone rolls with Nathan, because he's so small and people don't expect. Like I've seen Nathan make grown men cry, and I'm like, damn, it's a good feeling, you know, to see that, and then people like compliment, like, man, these guys are killers, you know, and I'm like, yeah,
That's my sons.
yeah, it's cool to see.
Hell yeah, man.
It's a good feeling, and it's also like, all right, I'm doing the right thing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fucking easy, dude.
Yeah.
To be putting all the things together and making sure the ship stays afloat.
And for me too, like, you know, being like it's Father's Day and stuff. One of the I remember seeing this quote one time, and it was like, and it hit me hard, just because I was like working all the time when they were little. But it was like one day you're gonna pick your kid up, and it'll be the last time you pick your kid up.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the last, and you won't even know.
Yeah,
It'll be the last time that you pick your kid up and you carry him, and then you'll never carry him again.
Yeah,
and I think about that in the sense of like, when you're little, your kids like to wrestle. Like my kids we used to like, I'd be dead tired, and they would just like be jumping all over me, and they'd want to wrestle and stuff like that. And then one day that goes away. With jiu-jitsu, I love rolling with my kids. I know Anthony gives me shit all the time. Oh, you pick the easy rolls. You always pick Nathan and Noah or your wife. I'm like, yeah, but I fucking love rolling with them because I get to continue to play wrestle with them. And a lot of people don't have that.
Fucking point. I never thought about that.
Yeah, a lot of like one day, like it goes back to that. Like one day you don't get to pick your kids up. One day you're stopped play fighting with your kids, and it's just like.
But it doesn't have to be.
But it doesn't have to be. Exactly.
Jiu-jitsu gives you that.
So I still get to enjoy that and play with my kids like if they were little, you know, and roll with them. I mean, yeah, we're trying to hurt each other, but and they're mean to me. I'm like, why the fuck are you? Why don't you mean to everyone else? And they're like, oh, because it's mean to be mean to people. I'm like, why are you mean to me? You know, like they'll be digging their elbows and their fucking knuckles into my neck, and like they're complete assholes when they roll with me. And I'm like, all right, fuckers. And I'm like, why don't you do that to other people? They're like, because it's me. And I'm like, but
that's a good point, dude.
I think about that a lot. You know, that I feel I don't want to say honored, but I feel fortunate, extremely fortunate that I can still do that.
Yeah,
you know, and then, you know, a lot of parents our age would not be able to do that. They can't. They couldn't keep up with their kids
physically.
Yeah,
or
physically.
just like whatever they got going on in their life.
Yeah, or there's people that just can't because they're injured, and so I take that. I feel very fortunate that I can still do that with my kids and roll with my kids, and I know that my kids, like, you know, kids grow up and they're like, oh, my dad's a badass, blah blah blah. It's like, come on, your dad doesn't do shit. Your dad's a fucking.
Bring it.
Yeah, bring them over here. We'll see. But like my kids, they like,
he's a quiet boy.
Yeah,
he's a quiet boy.
Yeah, but my kids will like, they get to roll me, and when I know in their heads they're like, all right, like he's capable.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just me thinking, like he's capable of doing shit. You know,
My Emil, like, I forget what did he say. He's always like, you know, Roxanne will come back and tell me like how he'll be talking about me like in public and stuff, and he's always like drawing pictures of me, and it's always like a jacked fucking dude. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. That's exactly what I wanted to be. In my mind, when I was younger, I was always like, I'm gonna be like fucking, you know, however long I make it, fucking 60, 70, however many years I make it, I'm gonna be jacked throughout my whole life, and that's been a goal of mine, and I think it's because. It's not just I don't just want to look good naked, but also I think it has to do with the the grind to get to that
Yeah.
point. Like there's
The work.
I've been lifting weights and doing some kind of exercise since I was like 15 years old, dude. Like every, as much as I consider, I've gone through pockets and times in my life where shit was too, crazy and I fell off. But ever since then, I'm about to be 40 fucking next month. I've always been working out. And I feel like people sometimes ask me like, well, what do you do? Like, how do you fucking
just do it?
I'm just like, I've been doing this since I was 15, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's decades of fucking work. It's not just like you take a shot or you take a fucking pill or you take a this or that or a certain diet. And it's like, nah, it's years, fucking decades of building this shit. And not to say it's unachievable. It's not like I'm fucking some kind of Greek god or some shit, but I do feel like if you're trying to get to the front of the line, there's going to be some setbacks, if you can't, there's no replacing
there's injuries and things that come up.
There's no replacing I was thinking the other day, I was like, we were doing it was judo, and like I was going with someone else and he's like a lot smaller than me, but just thinking about the stuff I used to do when I was younger, like body hardening, dude. Like we would literally sit there and just punch each other or hit each other like on the soft parts of our body, until we couldn't take it anymore. And then we'd just be like, that was part of our training. And like things like that, the body hardening, the doing the plyometrics. So you're jumping and you're having force on your knees that you're not used to when you get older. Like when you're young, you're running, you're jumping, you're flipping, you're doing all that shit. When you get older, you don't. And then one day your body will demand that on the mats and you're going to get fucked up. Your knee's going to pop. And it's like, why did you all of a sudden think that you could fucking do that? Like, it's like, I even feel it, dude, when I'm hopping out of the van, like at work and shit, dude. It's a little step up, and I'm like, I look down first. I'm like, is it stable ground? Because I'm not trying to fucking.
Well, that's part of getting older, man.
Yeah.
Shit just, you just can't do the same shit that you did when you were younger, but it's adapting yourself and being as fit as you can, as long as you can.
Yeah.
And being capable as long as you can.
Being capable. That's the most important for me.
Be able to, like when you're 60, 70, I want to, be able to still carry your groceries in the house or walk upstairs and do those things, And this is part of it. Yeah. And that's again, jiu-jitsu forces you to do that.
It guides you in that direction.
Yeah.
It's like,
because you want to get better.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, how do I get better? I got to do this. I got to do that.
I think,
that's the whole reason I have this whole freaking gym. Like I was like, my home gym was like, it was all because I was like, damn, I need to make, not that I want to get better at jiu-jitsu, not that working out like that is going to make you better, but it's like, I want less injuries.
Yeah.
And how do you prevent injuries? You work out.
Yep.
You strengthen your tendons. You strengthen your muscles. You stretch. You do all these extra things to help prevent injuries and in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean?
And also like I feel like if let's say you're a person who's like figuring out how to get fit or how to like you're like, I want to get back into this. I want to do something. And the easiest way you can do it, I feel like, is if you go get with a community that is also like-minded.
Oh yeah.
And then so now you're kind of like
feed off each other.
Yeah. And then the synchronicity of that, like you're like, I could go this way where I could like do it on my own and like, maybe get like a personal trainer or something, or, there's many ways to do it. But I feel like if you really want to stick to something, you're better off going with a group of people who are also trying to get better, who are also training and on the same path or similar trajectory. And so like, that's why it kind of like makes it so my fitness is on autopilot because I fucking love jiu-jitsu. And it's a great workout. And it'll force me to work out more because I want to be good at jiu-jitsu. So it's like, it's just an easy way. Whereas if I was like, I want to be fit, but I'm going to be stubborn and I'm just going to lift weights.
Yeah. So it reminds me, like I've trained a lot in my lifetime, like playing football, lifting during football. Even after football, when I was doing like Muay Thai, I was lifting and like going to the gym all the time. And I go through periods where I didn't, like you said, like during the time when I was like going to school and working 2 jobs, like I didn't have time for anything. And so like
no energy.
That whole time was like, I was probably the most unhealthiest I've ever fucking been. And then now, like, this is what's kept me being more healthy, conscious of what I'm eating. And
it doesn't feel like too much effort.
Yeah, it's just
it's like you said, it's not easy.
It's not easy, but it is. It's like
you want to do it.
It's the lifestyle.
Yeah,
it's part of the thing that jiu-jitsu brings to you. It's just the way it is, and yeah, it's pretty awesome.
The more I try to do that with my life in general, dude, because I'm like fucking ADHD as fuck, and so if there's something that I don't want to do, my mind will fucking force me in every other direction around that thing. And so I need to focus on, I know in my mind, I'm like, I want to be fit. I want to be capable. And so how do I do that? Oh, this is the easiest way to do that. So I'm going to fucking go that way. Make it the easiest way. For us, it's jiu-jitsu. For you, it might be something else.
Yeah.
Since you're watching this, it's probably jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But, other people, there's like, there's greatness everywhere, dude. There's bodybuilders, there's like arm wrestlers, there's fucking people that slap each other in the face for fun. And it's like you can be great at whatever the fuck you want, and whatever that path that makes it easiest for you, I feel like just follow that. And it won't be as much of a challenge. It won't be a chore. Yeah. It'll be like fun, something that you look forward to.
Yeah. Just thinking back to the times when I was like lifting a lot at like a gym, and I'd just put my headphones on. It would just be like me, just go. And it was.
There's good times in that too.
It was good.
Yeah.
It definitely felt more like a grind.
Yeah, you're forcing it a lot
because
more.
like I was like I would walk to the gym and then I would lift, and like I didn't talk to anybody. I was just like, I'm just here to lift, But even there, like, I remember when you start doing that and you get into a groove and you do that for a couple years, there was like people that, even though I never talked to them, they'd be like, hey, like I'd be leaving and they'd be like, hey, they're like, I see you, man. So they're like,
that was good shit.
Yeah, they're like, you're fucking getting there, Or like I remember a few times, like when I was in there, I'd be like on the rack squatting and stuff, and like someone would come and be like, they'd be like, dude, your squats are fucking, like you're going well below your whatever, like dipping below your hips or whatever. They're like, that's good form or whatever. And it's like just random little things. So even there, even though when you're going by yourself, you still find that, like, again, there's going to be certain core people that are there every day lifting.
Yep.
And even though you don't talk, like as you start showing up, it's like they start seeing you. And it's the same thing with jiu-jitsu. It's like when new white belts come in, it's about like we talk, it's kind of a joke about learning people's names and stuff, but it's like people come in and they're here for a month and then they're gone. And it's like, I'm not like,
I'm gonna forget your name.
Yeah,
so I forget people's names already.
Yeah, so it's like as you stick it out and I start seeing you, come longer and longer and longer, then I feel more comfortable like investing my time into helping you get better even more so. Obviously, if someone new comes, I'm gonna teach you and blah blah blah.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but I'm not at that point where I'm gonna go over where I'm like watching you roll and then afterwards I'm like, hey, I saw you were in this position. Let me show you something and let me help you for next time. Yeah. And then,
Well, first of all, they might not even understand. If they're that new, they're not going to fucking know what the fuck is. They're going to be like, what? It's gibberish. Whenever there's someone new coming into our gym, I do kind of see it like we were saying earlier, of like a responsibility almost to kind of like show them. Like you see somebody coming in and, it's mostly upper belts and they're the only white belt and it's their first day or first week or whatever. And then it's like you're warming up and everyone's doing break falls and they're doing something that is not that. And then so I take my responsibility in being like, hey, this is what we're doing, and then I'll explain it to them, and I'll I also I remember that coming up in the gym is meeting people like that, and then the opposite. And I don't want to be the opposite. That I want to be the person that's like
helpful.
Yeah, someone who
keeps them coming back.
Yeah. Also that too. Yeah. It's helpful for everyone if we have more training partners and we have more people that are interested in the way we do jiu-jitsu at our gym. And so, yeah, it helps everybody out. And it's kind of selfish because it makes me feel good too, that I'm helping them out. And, it's kind of like a self.
That's why it's like part of teaching. Like, so I don't know if I like, I didn't know that I would enjoy teaching as much as I enjoy teaching until like this year when I've been teaching a lot more. Like I teach a lot of the 10 a.m.s now. And it's not like an official thing, right? I just show up and if I can't make it, you know, I'll usually be like, hey, I can't make it today. But it's not like official that I teach every 10 a.m. But I've been given the opportunity to teach a lot at the 10 a.m.s, and I find I really do enjoy teaching it.
I think before you kind of have like that imposter syndrome where you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to teach something. Like, is somebody really going to want to listen to what I have to say? But I think when you know, like, obviously you need to get to a certain level, maybe like purple belt and above or something. That's when I feel like I had something to give, like where I was like, I could at least teach a white belt some shit. I could at very least teach a white belt or blue belt some shit that they don't know or they might not be as good at, you know? And so, but now that we're progressing and we're getting, you know, a little bit higher, now for sure there's no imposter syndrome. Now I know my shit. I know what I know, and that's what I teach. I don't really stray too far away from my game or anything that I haven't tried, you know. But yeah, I think it's there's definitely in the beginning there was that like imposter syndrome.
Sometimes I like teaching shit that I've never really tried or done, just because it gives me the opportunity to learn it out. Work it out. Yeah. Like that was that whole, like last week or the last 2 weeks I was doing like the lapel and worm guard stuff. Like I've known about it. I've never really used it, but that's why I wanted to teach it. I was like, I really want to learn this. I want to understand it and
it's like a lab, dude. You're putting the lab together.
And then fucking Kyle came back from his vacation. He's like, let's see this worm guard shit. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, just start from there. And I was like, and then he fucked me up.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, dude, nothing works on you. I don't want to hear it.
I just don't understand, man. I
fully set it up and then nothing worked on him. I'm like, but I was like, nothing works on you. So what is it? Fuck you.
I understand, like I understand what he's doing, but his ability to
his IQ in the game is so far ahead.
It's just like it doesn't matter if it's a new move. He already just knows, like, okay, this is where the danger's at.
But that's the whole concept. He understands all that stuff.
He knows where the danger is right away.
Yeah.
So he's like,
it's just so crazy rolling with him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's on another fucking planet.
I mean, yeah.
But that's good. That's a good. That's something. It's one of those people in the gym that you kind of like aspire to being as good as, you know. Like, and then that's the same thing that's happening all the way down the line, where it's just kind of like you see somebody, you might pick somebody, either maybe it's their specific game or a specific move that they have, or like a pace. Maybe they're fucking smash pass. Maybe they're technical. Like you find something and you latch onto that, and you're like, that's like, me. You know,
that's what you mean, Nathan. Nathan, like, if you ever watch Nathan roll, his demeanor never changes. He could be in the worst spot.
Just stone face. Yeah.
Stone face. Yeah. And his demeanor, that's like when Dan used to be at our gym. You roll with Dan, his demeanor doesn't change. Yeah. He's just calm and collective. And that's how Nathan is too. And I'm just like, damn, that's how I want to be. I want to just, like, I just want to be
no panic,
no panic, nothing. Just in the space. Lately, I've noticed a lot more now when I roll. I don't want to say it's new to me, but like way more often than not, I'm like super calm in bad positions or even in good positions. And like, it's just been, even in one of the last tournaments the last one I did during the rolls, I just felt calm. Like I didn't have a big adrenaline dump. I was just calm.
Just in the moment.
In the moment. And I was like, man, and I've really been enjoying that lately it's been like that. Like,
what did you do? Did you do anything different? Nothing?
No, just all of a sudden over time, like I've been realizing it lately that like
comfortable.
Really comfortable.
Because you're like, nothing's gonna what's the worst that's gonna happen?
Maybe that's it. I don't know I don't know, but like
I know I can escape, or I know that I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is, but lately, the past few months, I've just realized like when I roll now, it's like my breathing is way more controlled because I'm calm and I'm not freaking out. When I'm in bad positions, I'm calm. My breathing's under control. And like, yeah, it's just been really good. And it's felt good to be that.
It's
place.
the next level. The next
yeah.
level.
And it's like, it goes back to like, you know, the higher belt you are, the less work you have to do on the mats.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
like,
yeah.
I'm not having to force a lot of things or struggle to get out of things, or like, it's just less work. Like, I'll just like, all right, I'm stuck here. What's the first, what am I going, or I'm going for this. And then I'm just like, all right, let's do the technique. And like, I'm not thinking about like muscling through. I'm like, how do I get them to cross their arm? So let me do a couple things. Oh, look, there he crossed his arm. Now I got it. And I didn't have to force it. Like, all right, now I have his arm. Now it's like, all right, boom, legs, you know, John Wayne sweep, boom, easy. You know?
Yeah, you're able
like,
to piece it together way faster.
Yeah, and it's like less, it's way less forcing.
There's no lagging anymore. There's no like buffering. You're just fucking going.
Yeah, and but like, it's also even more than that. It's less, I'm not forcing things to go through. I'm getting people to like move or do things that I want. Like, oh, I want this arm, so I'm gonna go for this. I know they're gonna panic, or they're gonna do X, Y, and Z, and they're gonna try to break the grip, or they're gonna, and then I'm like, oh, now they gave me the arm.
You're forcing a dilemma. You're
yeah, exactly. I'm giving them dilemmas to make them react a certain way, and I'm seeing that more, and then that is building on making me not have to waste a lot of energy.
Oh yeah.
To like, I'm not having to grab your arm and force it over here. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to play over here. Then I know they're going to grab, and I didn't have to waste any energy. And I'm calm during this whole thing. And I've noticed that more and more recently. That's the way it's working.
You know when that's happening, when like you get a good sweep on someone and they just start giggling.
Oh,
they start laughing.
Yeah,
You're just like, they're like, how the fuck? You're just like,
Yep.
Yeah. I think I was going with someone the other day, and like, similar situation where I kind of like, I had my eyes closed and I didn't realize it. Like I sometimes I roll with my eyes closed, I guess. And so like, I'll be sitting there and he's like, he said something. He was like, you really just gonna beat me with your eyes closed like that? And I was like, oh shit. I didn't realize, but yeah, you're in that flow state. You're just kind of like going, and nothing really, it's not as much effort because you're kind of like forcing them into those positions.
Yeah.
You know what? Another thing too, judo, I've learned that I'm very tense, and a lot of jiu-jitsu people it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like if you ask a judo guy, what's their first impression of a judo or jiu-jitsu person, it's this. Yeah. It's like everyone's super stiff and tense when they grip. And so I've been more mindful of it. And a big thing that helped out, and he was like, I just felt the way he did it. And I don't know why, because, you know, Sensei James did the same shit and he's been teaching the same shit. But when he did it, I kind of felt like, I felt the looseness. He was like flowing in and out of wherever I was moving, he was just kind of like going with it. And then when it was time, he would stiffen up and then go for the throw. And it's like, that alone is so much more efficient than sitting there and like death gripping and we're like yanking and pulling.
I have been trying to stand straight up with people.
With gi, it's not a problem because if you have a grip, you can just, if they shoot, you can stiffen up and block them in frame. With no gi, I think it'd be a little bit harder, but at least with gi, I like to. I've transferred my whole game from like the leaning over position to fucking standing straight up as soon as I got my grips, and then I feel way more in control.
I've been working on that too. Yeah. Depending on who I'm rolling with. If I'm rolling with someone that's gonna fucking throw me, I might change a little bit, but for the most part, I've been like that too. But I have noticed the same thing.
You never wanted to fly when you were a kid? You never had those dreams?
That's the same thing though too, is like wasting less energy in my stand up and like
foot sweeps, dude. I love foot sweeps, man.
Yeah.
Sasai, freaking Dayashi, all that shit. It's just like so easy. I mean, not easy, but so effortless. Like once you finally get it, once you master it, you just kind of, same thing. You're pulling them into you. They step where you want them to step, and you take that foot out from under them at the right time, and it's like beautiful, dude. It's so fucking beautiful and efficient. Yeah,
I think I'm gonna try to The only reason I haven't been doing the judo classes is because of my wrist, and I don't want to fall
And slap the mat
and hit. It's not even slapping;
it.
it's just falling. Like if I have to fall, which I haven't been doing. I've been break falling and slapping, but like even the grips, like pulling. But I think, I kind of want to start now that it's healing a bit. But I'm just like, man, I don't want to fucking hurt it and get it worse again.
Yeah, I mean, it is fucking. I'm not gonna fucking try to like sell it. It's not a rough sport because it is, dude. But there, like if you do learn the proper break falls and shit, it's a lot less impactful for sure. And it was cool, man. The other day I was I was over at Dave's gym in Palm Springs, and there was another brown belt there, and I was I got to run the class, and so I kind of like we were doing the warm ups, and I did the break falls, and the way I was doing it was just like you have jiu-jitsu kind of forward rolls, and then there's a forward break fall, and that's the judo style. So I was like, we're gonna do the forward break fall, and so I showed them, and as soon as I did it, the guy was like, "Oh, you're a judo guy, huh?" And I was like, "Shit, dog." He fucking game recognized game. Dog.
Yeah,
no, but yeah, he was a cool dude. But it's good. It's a good like it was a good like acknowledgement. So props to fucking Coach Anthony and Sensei James, dude, like showing you the proper break fall, and it's so much. It's you see Sensei James do it, and this fool will like.
He like hops and flies
and he flips in midair.
It's crazy.
And then just and it's like, what the fuck? And it looks so effortless, and then he lands so gracefully, but it's such a violent toss that he does, and he's like,
it's almost like the Olympic, the swimming, the divers and shit when they go into the pool, like with the least splash. That's his fall.
For real,
like no splash. It's like
all the energy is dispersed evenly.
Yeah,
it's like it didn't even happen, dude. It's like fuck.
Yeah.
So trying to get to that though. I mean, you know how many times I fucking slap my knees together and my ankles together, and I put my overextending my arm too much, and like so I fucked up all the things. I just not to the extreme where I like broke anything, but it's a skill in itself, dude.
Anyways, this is good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Happy Father's Day to all you guys out there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Had a good weekend. Go train. That's all I say. Just keep training. Just keep going. Just keep showing up.
Whenever you can, man.
Yeah, whenever you can.
Time.
Yep.
Make time. Don't make excuses.
Yeah. What's that say? Everyone has excuses are like assholes. Everyone has them, and they all stink. Yeah, they all stink.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't got anything else. You?
That's it, baby.
All right, man. Peace.